Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Facebook Live presentation this morning. This morning, I have some very important people joining us today on Fortitude. Again, my name is Alvin Tucker. I'm one of the mentors here at Fortitude Leadership Academy. I have these young ladies here today. We're going to be sharing some things, some good information for parents as well as administrators and educators, some tips for preparing for virtual school. This morning I have with me with Miss Tucker. She's an educator from Wilson Elementary School. I also have Miss Toni Johnson. She is an ER specialist. And I also have Miss Wilson. She's from Fitzpatrick Elementary School, and she's a counselor. So these ladies are joining me this morning, and we have a few questions that we just want to get a feel for what your plans are as far as returning to school. I know this is something new to all of us. It's a new experience. And first, I really want to thank you ladies for joining us. And we also have Miss Sewell is joining us. I see she's coming on. Miss Sewell is an assistant principal with one of our schools, also with Downley Elementary. So she'll be joining us as well. So we have a wealth of experience here this morning, and I'm very excited. I'm privileged to be among some of the greatest educators in MPS. So I thank you ladies for attending. So I want to get started. I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to get started with Ms. Tucker. Ms. Tucker, if you don't mind, just share a little bit about your background with MPS, and then I want you to get started with telling us how you are preparing as an educator for this new experience for us.
Okay, well, good morning. My name is Tamika Tucker, and I teach at Wilson Elementary School. This will be my 23rd year teaching, and I'm just looking forward to a great year. But I am basically preparing. The first thing that I'm doing is just training. Signed up for and have attended professional development on Schoology, which will be our platform that we'll be using for virtual learning. Also watching YouTube tutorials, pinning things on Pinterest, collaborating with other teachers from my school and from other schools as well. But I think the most valuable thing that I have done over the summer has been specifically like joining different blogs from other kindergarten teachers of how to deliver virtual instruction as a kindergarten teacher.
Very good. Okay, Ms. Johnson, would you like to chime in on that also, please?
Hey, good morning. I'm Toni Johnson. I've been in education going into my 16th year, 12 years as a kindergarten teacher. The last 4 years have been the K-3 reading specialist at Highland Gardens Elementary School. As the reading specialist, I'm kind of on the other side. I am, as well as Ms. Tucker, I've been immersing myself in a lot of PD so that I can better help the teachers, because my job is basically to roll up my sleeves and get in there with the teachers and not just tell them my expectations. So I've been immersing myself in a lot of the PDs as it relates to the new science of reading and structured literacy. I haven't had a chance to really do the Schoology just yet, but that's on my to-do list because I am planning on setting up a space for myself, and I want to be able to assist the teachers as they embark on the journey of setting up those classroom spaces for themselves starting on Tuesday. This year is a trying year, as well as the times from March to May of last year as it relates to being virtual. I had to jump in there and teach some Zoom lessons myself with some kindergarten students, and it was challenging for me because I am that hands-on visual learner, and I feel like that I'm not as effective if they are not right in my face. Right. And parents express the same things, that their kids need to be in the brick and mortar building, soaking up all of that good instruction that the teachers are handing down and giving that immediate feedback. So I know this is going to be a challenging time for all of us, but I think that we're just going to have to be rubber bands and flexible and stay green and growing and be willing to step out of our comfort zone So
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Very good. Now, Miss Wilson here, brief introduction. So Miss Wilson is a counselor at one of the schools our Fortitude mentoring program is a part of, Good to Great. And so we just love Miss Wilson and Fitzpatrick. And Miss Wilson, I just want to know, how are you preparing as a counselor for this upcoming year?
Well, as the other ladies have already explained, I've been in a lot of professional development over the summer as well, including the Schoology. I'm in the process now of trying to set up my classroom. It's a bit challenging with the Bitmojis, but I'm excited. The year is going to be, we have to be flexible. You know, I'm there for the students, but I'm also there for the staff as well and the parents. I know there are a lot of hesitations. I know there are a lot of concerns. And as Ms. Johnson said, you know, some kids do better in the brick and mortar, being in the building. So as I assist the teachers, because it may be that I have to go in and sub for some teachers who may be out or whatever the case may be. So I have attended some professional developments in the different areas. I'm open. I've been deciding on how to arrange my Schoology with links for the students. Of course, I'm going to place my lessons on there with voiceovers as opposed to letting them read it, because that'll give them some personal with me, hearing my voice, and then links that will, with the different resources that I would have provided for them if they were in the classroom, or the parents, except especially with if they need to see the counselor. So there will be a link for that, so that parents can contact me and we can have a Zoom or telephonic meeting if the student is struggling emotionally or have some issues or something that may come up, you know, within the family, like it would be if they were in the building, so I can assist.
Okay, very good. So we want to welcome Ms. Sewell. This is my first time meeting Ms. Sewell. How are you today? You doing okay?
I'm wonderful.
Doing good. Okay, great. So we've been discussing your role as your role. You're the assistant principal at Danley. If you don't mind, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your experience with MPS, and then let us know what you are doing as an administrator to prepare for the upcoming year.
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me. I'm super excited about being on this panel. I have been working with MPS for the last 16 years. I've been in education for 21 years. From pre-K to third grade, I've taught. And just coming into a new position as assistant principal, what I've been doing is training in every way that I can, taking advantage of all of those trainings that MPS have been offering that are out there on the internet, Facebook groups, joining them, trying to learn as much as I can about Schoology so that I can be that support for the teachers. And so in this position, my job is to support teachers so that they feel comfortable, so that they're able to manipulate these new platforms that are foreign to all of us, and then also guide our students and guide our parents through these waters that we don't know what's at the end of them. And so I've just been trying to absorb as much as I can, learning a new school, learning new faculty, but also training myself so that if there's questions that my teachers don't have the answer to, then I can lead us to the right direction. I think that MPS has done a great job this summer offering lots of trainings on Google, that platform, so that if it's something that Schoology does not provide, we do have some training on Google Classroom. They've offered just using tech tools so teachers can just be more familiar with technology. And as prevalent as technology is, teachers, veteran teachers like myself, sometimes shy away from technology. And so I think that in this new position, I'm going to support my teachers in being open to navigating technology. And that's going to be a big deal for the success of the students this year.
Okay, very good. So it's always exciting around this time of year when everyone is preparing to go back to school, especially little kids that have not, this is their first year kindergartners, parents with a first year kindergarten are excited about dropping their babies off, and teachers are excited about seeing kids come back. So this year is going to be very different. So I'm interested in, so you guys will go back on August the 4th, I believe, to prepare, do some trainings and things like that. But the kids come back August the 10th. So I know Miss Tucker, she's preparing. Years back, I can remember getting ready for that new year, excited and all these things. So what do you perceive your first day of school, virtual learning? What do you think it's going to look like? And I would really want to get your perception first, Ms. Tucker, because these are babies that are coming from home, their first experience. You guys used to love on them, be able to embrace them and things of that nature. But of a kindergartner coming to virtual learning, what's your first day of school going to be like as a virtual teacher with kindergartners?
Well, the only thing that I can think of is to just really try to establish some rapport with the children. Like you said, usually they enter the classroom and they get a feel for you, and you can better relate to them and all of that. So I just think that it'll just be challenging. But so I would basically work on just more face-to-face interaction, more Zoom lessons, getting to know them, getting acquainted with them, doing more activities of that nature, even showing them around the classroom, trying to make them feel a part of a community. So we will be doing more community friend type themed activities.
Okay, very good. So I'm thinking about Ms. Wilson, when we would come on campus, you'd be the first face we see. So you would know all the tea, they call it, with the children. So you would be able to give us the good, the bad, and the ugly, what's going on with our young people. What do you perceive your first day to be like when you don't have those kids face to face, so that you can do those one-on-ones with them? What's your first day going to be like as a counselor?
Well, the first day, I anticipate hopefully that I can do a meet the counselor virtually as opposed to a voiceover PowerPoint. And so, especially for the kids who have not been to school, like the kindergartens or some students who are new to our school. And so, hopefully, I'll get an opportunity, I'm sure, to meet the counselor and tell them about the counselor, express to them as if I would, but they were my classroom is, if they need me and need to speak with me, the opportunity will be there for them just as if they were in the building. Doing a lot of check-ins,
Okay.
I anticipate, although I will have that on the link, I'm going to do some check-in. It'll be my job every day to say, okay, let me check in with this parent. Let me check in with this student, and we have a little over, 300-400 students. But if it takes me, the whole 9 weeks, at least they can say, oh, well, that counselor or Miss Johnson or the counselor, she checked in with me. She just wanted to make sure that I was okay. It won't be about necessarily, oh, did you do your work? Did you read a book? I'm really concerned about that, their academics, but I'm really more concerned about their mental state, because this is different. We as a person, as a human being, we're used to interaction. We're used to people talking to us. We're used to hugging and shaking hands. And because of the situation, that has been taken away from not just few of us, all of us.
Right.
So I want to make sure they get that from me and know that, okay, although I don't see Miss Wilson, although I'm not hugging her, she still is reaching out to me. She's still reaching out to my parent, and she's really still concerned, although we're not in the building.
Okay, awesome. So I will have the same question for you in a sec, Ms. Johnson. But first, we have some viewers on Facebook that are joining us now. I just want people to know that our discussion today is preparing for virtual school, and we have some of Montgomery's finest educators at MPS. We have a range of experiences from in-school teachers to specialists to counselors, as well as an assistant principal. So the real MVPs of the school system, these are the folks that are actually out there doing the work. So we certainly appreciate these guys for coming. I've actually asked the question of what their first day of virtual would be. And so Miss Toni's Miss Johnson, she's going to share. She's an ER specialist, and she's going to move forward with that. And also Once she finishes, I would like for Ms. Sewell to answer that same particular question. All right, Ms. Johnson.
Okay, so I think my priority is going to be linking with the kindergarten teachers, because I know the students that are going to the other grades. I'm familiar with them. They're familiar with me. But the kindergarten teachers and the kindergarten parents, more so, they're sending us they're sending us their diamonds and their jewels, and they want to know that they are in good hands. And so I want to introduce myself as a face that the students are going to be familiar with as it relates to possible doing some online assessments. That will be the face that they will see, which will be my face. So I want to let the parents know who I am, my role as it relates to helping their children learn, and just let them know that we do not have all the answers for this, but we are willing to work together to figure this out. And so our first day with the kindergarten students will probably be some getting to know me activities. They're introducing themselves, and we're trying to make mental notes as far, okay, this child has a haircut that looks like this, so his name may be John. Just trying to make the parents feel comfortable as we get to know their little babies.
Okay, very good. Ms. Sewell?
Okay. So for me, I believe that the first day is going to be just as hectic as maybe we would think it would be if they were in school, because we have to make sure all technology is up and going. That's going to be a point of concern. So we're checking on that, getting ready for that, making sure that all teachers have the technology devices that they need to reach the students. But for us here at Danley, we're reaching out to parents and students, as many face-to-face interactions as we can, live sessions. We're going to be recording, but we want our teachers to have live sessions so that they can make parents feel comfortable that this is going to be a learning experience. This is just not sitting on the computer, not getting what we know our students need. And so I think Ms. Wilson said gaining a rapport with the parents is going to be a little more tough to do that over the computer, but I think that teachers have to offer a super amount of patience. Parents are not familiar with these processes, so we have to be the ones that guide them in a way that they're able to help our babies, because we call them our babies. It may be their children, but they're our babies, and we want to make sure that they're getting what they need to be successful. So that first day of school is going to be a lot for me, checking on teachers, getting them things that they need. If it's making sure that the technology teacher is checking on them, making sure they have access to all avenues that is going to create a successful environment for the parents and the students. Another thing that we're doing in the front of the first day of school to make that first day easier is we're offering a virtual open house that we're going to push out on our social media pages so that parents can get familiar with, once they know what teacher their student will class they'll be in, then they can take a look at that teacher and get to know a little bit about him or her through the virtual open house. So we're going to have that going on the social media sites. We're going to do, Mr. Brooks is going to have a parent meeting the Saturday before the first day of school so that parents can ask questions and get as many possible answers as they can, just to make that first day smooth. So for us here at Danley, and I know at every other school with MPS, that first day is going to be critical for how the rest of the year moves forward.
Right, absolutely. So what I'm hearing from you guys, it seems like one of the barriers, potential barriers, would be technology. Another barrier would be lack of communication. So I believe that it's very important, and it always has been, but especially with virtual, it's important that there's an open line of communication between that parent, teacher, and all of the other folks that are involved. So I think that's very important. I think, sounds like you guys really have, each of you guys have a plan. So if you guys could like just put all of that into one big document and push it out to everybody, I think we'll be ready for next year. I wanted to kind of switch things up a little bit and kind of let's focus on the parents. So I know you guys are parents. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys have young kids in school, but as a parent and educator, can you give us some tips? Can you give the parents at home tips on how they can prepare? some things that they can do from their side to prepare for this upcoming year. I'll let anybody that want to get started with it go ahead.
I think the parents need to understand, and I think Ms. Sewell brought up a great point. We are all learning together, and they don't need to feel like they don't have all the answers, because we are working together and we're going to provide that information. And even if there's something that they're working with their student on that they don't understand, just like when we were in the building, they can reach out to that teacher on Class Dojo or Ramon and say, hey, I tried to help my daughter or son with something, and I don't really think they got it. Is it possible that you can review? Because I think there will be some opportunities for tutoring as well. And to be patient. Be patient with us. We have to be patient with them. I think Ms. Toni did say something about being flexible. We have to have that. I mean, it is different. You know, I can't say it enough. This is a different situation for everybody. Therefore, the way that we used to teach or our presentation used to be, we're going to have to tweak it so that our babies will feel comfortable, that the parents will feel comfortable. It's an overwhelming situation that they were thrust in back in March. And so, you know, they're thinking now, what am I going to do now? Is this the new norm? Is this what we're going to be dealing with for the rest of the year? So giving them that opportunity to vent. We also will be having a virtual open house as well. And that will be my key thing when I have an opportunity to speak to them, like, you know, just be patient, be flexible with your children. You are to be flexible with us, and we're going to be flexible with you as well, because we're all learning. And if, you know, when you're dealing with technology, there are things that are going to happen. That's just hands down. So, you know, making them understand that on the front side, so that if something happens, they don't go, oh my gosh, the laptop's not working, my child can't do a work. And, you know that, you know, the school is there for super support.
Okay. Anyone else?
And I think that one thing that parents could do is get as ready as they possibly can. Knowing that we're going to be virtual that first 9 weeks, we understand that MPS will be providing devices for students, but until that happens, 100%, if parents have devices, be transparent, let us know that you're up, you're ready to go. You don't have to wait on that technology distribution. We can start reaching out to you virtually because you have access. I think that, again, patience is going to be one of the biggest things on both ends, to just be willing to understand that we don't have all of the answers, but we're working hard to make this as easy as possible, not just for parents, but for the students, because I feel like students are the ones who are getting, honestly, the bad end of the deal, because they have no say in any of this. They only can do what parents and teachers allow and help them to do. So we're trying to make it as productive for our students as possible. But parents can just be transparent, be open to us asking questions, because in order to help them, they need to allow us to ask questions and get the answers that we need that'll make things easier for them. And again, just patience. The district is working to get internet access for students who don't have it. We are working hard to distribute technology devices so that students are able to log on. And so if parents are aware, stay in constant communication with the schools, listen to those all calls that principals are giving out every day. Take a look at your school's social media pages, and just stay as informed as they can. And I think that it'll make the process much easier for the parent to gain any information that they need for their student.
Okay.
Some tips that I would share are just that parents should establish routines and expectations. Get a consistent time that you get up, get dressed, just as a normal school day. It needs to function just as that. Even bedtimes, they need to go to bed on time and be ready to start the day. Also establishing a good place to learn, finding a table, a desk, somewhere where they can go and they know that it is school time and that they have assignments and things that they need to do. And then parents, we know that, you didn't expect to be full-time teachers. But as everybody on the panel has said, we're all in this together, so we just kind of have to pull together to get the job done. But with that, even allowing the children to take some ownership of their learning, this is a great time for them to be more accountable and to actually own their learning. And we're just facilitators. And last, we need to stay in touch. And so parents, I say to you to make sure that you have updated phone numbers, updated emails. If those change, please let us know. It's hard to stay in contact if we don't have proper information. So just making sure that we are communicating. If you are stuck, if you are stressed, whatever it is, we want to know, because we have people that can help you, you know, get through and facilitate it. But we're just all in it together. And so we're one big team. And so each person has a role to do, and everybody needs to come together and we can get this done.
Awesome. Okay. Ms. Toni, you have anything you want to share?
Well, I guess I'll just piggyback off what Tamika said. I think it's the time is now for each home to call an urgent family meeting so that those expectations can be set from the parents' point of view. But also parents need to be willing to listen to the students, because they have apprehension about this as well. And we need to be able to listen to our children and not be dismissive or defensive at the things that they are saying, because they're talking from their heart. And someone mentioned that, you know, the students are getting the bad end of the stick in this deal because they're social beings and they're used to being in the midst of their peers and getting to know the educators who's going to lead them to success. So sit down, talk about what this is going to look like in your house, set your expectations, and as Tamika said, establish routines. Okay, so we're going to get up at this time and we're going to do everything that we would just as if we were walking out the door to catch the bus or ride to school. We will not be sitting in front of the computer in our pajamas. We will not be eating breakfast while instruction is going on. We're going to take care of all those things prior to the lesson starting. So just making sure that students know that this is serious. It's different from what the norm is. However, together with everybody working hard, this too shall pass. And one other thing is, you know, the students, our children, they're watching us. If they see that we are working hard and being a model and modeling hard work, then they're going to be more apt to do that same thing and take ownership for their learning so that they can be successful.
Very good. So one thing is important, I heard you guys saying, is it is important to set some goals for your young people, also rules, because even the teenagers now, you know, I know a lot of you guys are elementary, most of you guys, but think about the teens now. You know, some teens will be at home by themselves, but there has to be rules set and things in place. Maybe a parent that's at work may need to call in home at certain periods of time, because, you know, my oldest daughter, she was MPS virtual school, and you cannot leave a young person home and expect them without setting some things in place to say, hey, you have a schedule, you make sure you follow the schedule and check up and follow up. And when they know that you're going to do those things, they take ownership and then they move forward. Ms. Sewell, I wanted to ask concerning the technology, have they made a determination as to when? I know you guys go back on the 4th, but when will students, if you know they may have not determined it, but when will students be able to pick up those devices from their schools?
So it's a per school decision. We're trying to get them out here at our school as before that first start date. A lot of the schools are not one-to-one. We will become a one-to-one district at this point, but right now, luckily, and I'm so happy to be at Danley because our school is already one-to-one. So students here will be provided with a Chromebook as long as they're registered and have done the proper paperwork as they should at the beginning of the school year.
Okay.
They'll get their Chromebook. We're setting dates for next week, the week that the teacher comes back, to have a technology distribution day that parents can drive through, and we can give the student what they need to be ready for day one. So as far as a schedule, we're waiting. The district have ordered computers. Of course, that order process may take a little bit longer because of COVID-19 and how shipping is running, but district have ordered computers for every student. And so as they come in, they'll be distributed to schools, and schools will then create dates or times to push them out to the parents.
Okay, very good. Wanted to shift a little bit. So as far as support is concerned, what are some support things that that have been incorporated into the school system, whether they're virtual or face-to-face? Are there anything going on that parents can access virtually to gain support, or are there other tools of support within the school system?
We normally do. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Sewell.
No, I think that for parents, they're very active on their social media, and it's so many trainings and little videos and things. They can get very familiar with this new platform that we're getting familiar with at the same time. School systems, schools will be offering parent meetings to go over the platforms that we'll be using. So parents need to make sure that they are available at those times so that they can get that training that specific schools will offer. But for now, I think that whatever they can go out there and learn on their own would be a benefit to them, so that when we do get to the point where we're pushing out trainings and information, they'll already be a little bit ahead with some information about what it is. But for me, I think that would help parents to just go and be a little bit proactive about the things that we're going to be using, gaining some type of familiarity with it.
Very good.
For the last couple of years, we have been fortunate to have parent to parent in our school, and we have that once a month. And so I've spoken with Emily and her staff, and because we will not be in school on site, they're going to set up a WebEx for the parents so that they can go out and click on it and still get that information about, we've already established the different topics for the year. And so the parents still will be able to go out there, gain the information, and also do a check-in so we'll know, who has attended. And so it's been, we're fortunate that they, by the time I've already discussed with them, they had already come up with a plan to do just that. So that's so important. And like I said, we will still have, I'm trying to implement now, if a parent is in need of something, some kind of resource, that I can get that information out to them too. But a lot of the resources that they normally would come and talk to me about will be in Schoology, so that they can click on it, they can click on the form, and upload it and send it to me via email.
Very good. So, of course, now we've supported the schools, Fortitude Leadership Academy. We've supported 5 of the elementary schools within the MPS system, and we will continue to support by way of virtual. Actually, we're in the process of creating an internal app where we will roll out to the different schools that we support, and the students as well as the faculty will be able to log into the app, and that'll be our stream of communication. So we're making efforts, we're making changes also to continue to be able to support you great leaders and providers at MPS, because you definitely provide a whole lot more than you're all given credit for. So we definitely appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time. I want each of you to, if you could say one thing or 2 things to the parents, something that will encourage them, or as well as educators, an encouraging word for the parents, what would that be? We'll start with Ms. Tucker, and we'll continue around the panel. I appreciate you guys. Ms. Tucker.
We probably said this before, but I want to just ask parents to please be patient. This is just new to us. This is the kind of new norm. And so, teachers are learning. We're doing, I think, equipping ourselves in the best way possible. And so we just ask that you just be patient with us, and we'll be patient with you as well, because we know that there are learning curves We're all in this together, and at the end of the day, there's just one common goal, and that's just to provide the best quality education for your child at this particular time. So just know that we're there for you. And also I wanted to add, if there are parents who have concerns about children who might have special plans, then, you know, I want to make sure that you reach out and communicate with those SPED teachers to work on those IEPs, or there may be a child with a 504 plan, or maybe even an ELL child. We're here for you, and we're going to give your child every type of support needed to help them.
I agree with Tamika. We are here for you. We are here for the parents. We're here for the staff. We're a family. You know, we'll continue. Although we are not physically with each other, we are still a family. And so know that the teachers are working hard for this new norm, getting the training they need. So like Tamika said, patience. As they say, patience is a virtue. That, you know, be patient with us, and we're going to be patient with you. And feel like anything that you need, call, email. We're here for you.
And I would just say to the moms and dads that are listening to hold on and just hang in there. We too are parents, and we are trying to figure this thing out for our own personal kids, and we are not going to devote more time and attention to them than we would to your students. So we want the best for all, so that there's a successful and a good end for this, because it's easy to get frustrated. However, when we think about the end result, which is student achievement, then we have to take a step back and examine the purpose. What is the why behind all of this? And once we have figured out what that why is, which is to empower all of our students to be productive citizens, then the little curves that are being thrown at us here and there as it relates to the technology and all of that, we can overcome that. So just hold on and hang tight.
Right. So
I think that everybody has said patience. That's like number one, to be patient. But also to expect the best. I think that if parents expect the best and we are held accountable on both ends, then we'll have a successful year. To try to be as positive as possible, without getting negative things in your ear about what's happening in the school, and just know that we are working to provide the best opportunities, the best learning environment for the students that we possibly can. But the biggest deal, I think I'm going to expect the best from our parents and hoping that they expect the best from us, so that working toward that expectation, we all meet in the middle and provide some good instruction and a great year for our students.
awesome, awesome. So I know each of you guys are going to have a great year. I'm excited because you guys sound excited. It's a new adventure, but we all are a team. Now, Fortitude also, you know, because there are a lot of teachers as well as other parents that cannot stay home to monitor their children. So Fortitude, we're actually offering, starting August the 10th, we're offering monitoring services from. We have several different stages of it. We have a 7:30 to 12:30 where you can bring a young person. We'll monitor their schooling, the virtual learning, as well as a 7:30 to 3:30. Then we also offer 7:30 to 5:15. So we are out here in the community. We welcome you guys. We're only going to have 20 people, and we issued it last week, and we have about maybe eight seats left, if that. I've actually received some calls this morning, but we are in the community. We're here to help you guys. We wish you guys a great year. We know you're going to have a good year because you guys are excited about it. So just stay focused, stay encouraged, and we thank you guys. For those that are out there watching us, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Alvin Tucker with Fortitude Leadership Academy. We wish you guys a great year, a great rest of the week. We love you. God bless you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.